Hello and welcome to the Jamie Scott Dog Owner Training. I want to give an update today on Jack and the Great Horned Owl call. My last video was on dogs and trauma and dive in a little further on this topic. I find it pretty interesting. Jack is doing much better. He was out of sorts for about 4 or 5 days when he wouldn't go in the crate. He didn't want me to leave him. He was constantly underfoot. And now he's pretty much back to normal after a week. He was traumatized when he heard that call. It lasted about 4 or 5 days for the most part, and now he's over it. I have no doubt if he's in the same situation again, where he hears that call, he will revert back and it'll freak him out again. So I made the analogy that dogs carry trauma in a very similar way that humans do, that it can come up at any time and trigger them and shape their behavior. I've done a phenomenal amount of work, personal growth work, in getting over trauma. I've tried probably just about every healing modality you've ever heard of. One of the things I discovered on this path, and believe it or not, it was doing Scientology work, which I did for about 6 months. My biological mother died giving birth to me. I did some Scientology work, and I went back to that moment and experienced the event over again, and I discovered I was carrying a lot of trauma from that moment. In that moment, when my biological mom died, the only thing I had known in my life up to that point was that energetic connection I felt with my mom. And when that was severed, I was so overwhelmed, I had no idea what to do. And so my body basically just completely shut down internally. My brain told my body, you can't handle this emotion, and just shut off everything. And I lived my life that way for 40 years, not experiencing or acknowledging or embracing emotion. And then I did this work, and over a period of time, I got over that trauma. This was not a conscious thing that I was carrying around, okay? So this was subconscious. It wasn't that I had a belief that I carried around that I couldn't handle emotion. It was like cellular memory. My body believed that it couldn't handle emotion. Indigenous Americans have a ceremony called a soul retrieval. And I did 3 of those with 3 different shamanic healers. It's a very powerful ceremony. Indigenous Americans believe that when you suffer a trauma, it strips away a part of your soul. And they have a ceremony for reincorporating that part of your soul back into your being. I did 3 of those, and it was very powerful work. And I got a lot out of it. And that helped me get over the trauma. That and the Scientology work and a lot of shadow work. This is very analogous to what was going on with Jack. This isn't a belief that he's not safe. It's more cellular memory. It's within his body or his brain talking to the cells of his body saying, uh-oh, that owl sound is trouble. That means I'm not safe. And his body just kind of shuts down or freaks out. It's very similar to the way that I carried my trauma. I have the ability to do the work and get over the trauma. Jack doesn't. At least I don't believe that dogs have that ability. I think humans are unique in that regard, that we're the only ones that have the ability. We can choose to do that work and get over our trauma and live consciously. That's what I got for you today. I'm on X now, link below. Thanks for watching, and take care.